While filming the film opening, we noticed that during our preliminary task, we had made several mistakes that we hoped we didn't make in the opening. The technology we used was different, which meant that the camera angles and movements were different. For example, the quality of the camera was different. As for the film opening, we used a HD camera, which meant the quality was less blurry. However, if we were to do some filming again, then a few scenes would be different, as we had to use a film for one scene, which meant that the quality was slightly off. The bad quality of the camera meant that the audience could not see the facial reaction of the characters. From the preliminary task to the film opening, we used more information and research to help develop our final piece. While making our task at the start of the year, we had done very little research, which meant that the filming we were not sure what conventions we needed and the speech that we needed to use. In our film opening, we made sure that we did plenty of research so that we knew the conventions of the genre, romantic drama, and understood what we needed to include in the opening. Our research included timelines, storyboard, a photographic storyboard, and schedules that would help us when filming. This helped us because during the preliminary task, it seemed rushed and we only did a storyboard. However, it was not well detailed and some scenes changed. It was easier for the film opening because we were more organised, efficient, and we knew more about how we could organise our narrative so the audience understood the storyline. There were a couple of mistakes in the preliminary task with regards to the props, which meant they looked hurried. The first mistake in the preliminary task was the knife and the pencil case. This was the scene when we were showing the evidence that the criminal used. However, because we had very little time, we had to use a butter knife and a pencil case. If we were to redo this scene, we would have acquired the proper equipment needed to make it look realistic. The second mistake in the preliminary task was the gun at the end of the scene. This was when one of the characters used their fingers as a gun. By making the mistakes in the preliminary task, it enabled us to get the correct props to film. For example, the wine glasses in the restaurant and the watch that was used to show the time and how the wife looked aggravated. The mistake in the film opening was that in two scenes, the phone had moved from one side of the table to the other. In the preliminary task, we had very little time to film. For instance, we had a maximum of 2 to 3 hours, which meant that it was rushed and appeared to the audience in a mature way. In our film opening, we spent an average 5 hours in the first shooting, 3 hours shooting the second time, and the final filming we spent 1 hour. This gave us time to reshoot any scenes that we weren't satisfied with and improve them with the feedback we received from the teachers. We have progressed from the preliminary task to the film opening with regards to the location, because in our preliminary task, we used the school's location to shoot our scenes. We made sure in our film opening to use the location which had an audience to make the film look appealing and realistic. The locations used was the top of the car park to film the sunset, Pizza Express, and the train station to film our scenes.